Elves, you have finished your meal, you have finished your rest. Probably didn't sleep the greatest, assuming you established watches. Each of you that night, during your slumber, has a different dream. It is peculiar to you. The only thing that it has in common is that it left you with a deep sense of dread and unease. What did you dream of that left you feeling so malaise?
Merrick did not appreciate that the old woman deceived us the way she did. And she used sacred hospitality as a kind of our agreement was this, nothing to do with who I am. And that's because Merrick has a rather unfortunate history with people using that to take advantage of him of his trust. So that probably set him off for a period and just contributed to a poor Midas.
Yara probably just has a dream that's kind of an amalgamation of everything that happened. She finds herself back in the quicksand pit, this time with Hope, who is unconscious, and off in the distance she can see the lady in her crone figure, somewhat menacingly, but it's kind of hard to tell because of, again, the distance, but the whole thing leaves Yara feeling rather uneasy.
Feel like Hope would be running in his dream. The dark beast is following him, running after him, ready to bite him again. Maybe some type of connection has formed in that interaction in the forest that night.
I feel like for Jasper, it's back on the front lines. For him, that's when he is most weirdly self-assured, but existential fear is a hard thing to fight. And for him, before the battle was joined, before the blades formally crossed, waiting for the armored knights to come striding across the grass as they got closer, and realizing it was him and a couple guys with wooden shields holding off well-equipped infantry, that moment before the blade started falling is where his dreams bring him, over and over, just like perpetually watching them get closer.
You wake up from these dreams as if they are fell omens. You gather your things, break down your camp, the inside of the shrine, now much better than you found it, thanks to Yara's efforts. Assuming that you are eating your breakfast on the road and heading out.
As everyone is eating breakfast and getting ready to go, Jasper's going to call everyone over to what's left of the campfire from the night before and put a satchel down on the ground. So, while we were hunting our quarry, stumbled across something in its den, and you all should have a look at this. And he's gonna reach into that satchel and open it up, and inside is going to be the accounting of ill-gotten gains. Almost everything here was in a pile of mostly rotten and consumed bodies, but this statuette, that was mostly just spider webbing. The rest of it, you might want to wash it before you use it, but this is ours to split or to use.
Can I get a religion check from everyone real quick? I think Jasper has already attempted this. Well, Merrick and Yara, I'm not even joking, you both got the exact same thing that Jasper did. Sexy spider lady. The amethyst that's set into the statuette is raised above her with her non-spider legs, as if she's holding it up. Hope, you, however, you recognize this as the goddess of secrets. She is a many-layered, many-faceted being. Her symbol is the amethyst in its diamond form, like perfect cut diamond form, because it is multifaceted. There is a great line that is definitive, and that is usually, the thorough line in that is usually entities that are revered and likened to that of gods.
Could Yara make an occult check on the statue?
You would pick up on specifically what that is. God of Secrets is a bit of a misnomer. She is powerful. She's incredibly powerful. That's true. Her domain is secrets and knowledge that she hoards and trades. She is a complex character that you have only ever heard spoken of very quickly for very brief periods of time, because to even invoke her name is to invite her gaze upon you, to learn things that you don't want anybody else to know. Hope, you've never heard the name of this being before. You've only heard them talked about as the god of secrets, but Yara, you know this as Whisper.
Yara's superstitious enough to be concerned that if in telling the party the goddess's name will invoke some type of ill fortune.
I'll tell the party. Some type of god of secrets. I've seen it in literature from my monastery.
Well, that tracks. I found this in a Periton's hoard after we put it down. No, actually, we found that one elsewhere in the cave. What seemed like a hidden shrine overgrown with spiders. When I say spider web, I also mean spiders. Because picking it up, there was a lot that came out of the hole that it sat in. It was almost like it was trapped, protecting itself. At least that'd be what I would guess. Not gonna lie, it feels a little cursed, but I figured we could at least pawn it off for a little cash.
It was unpleasant.
You know what they say, in the web of lies, there is some truth.
Well, this now dubious item aside, and he's going to push the idol a little further away. The rest of this wealth is all ours to do with as we please. I don't know what would attract your fancy, but there you go. I wouldn't mind holding on to it if you want me to keep it, but you should all know about it.
Were these found with the statue or elsewhere?
No, this was in the Periton's hoard, buried mostly beneath moldering bodies. Hence the reason I put it in oil skin. Keep the smell away. If you're going to take any of it, I can't recommend enough that we soak it in a little water first and scrub it off. It's probably got parts on it still. But it's still worth things, and some of these items are, well, unique. And he would lift up the ornately edged dagger of unknown value or make.
Yara just wanted to make sure that the items weren't found with the statue, otherwise she might pass on them, just out of, again, more superstition.
No, only the statue, only the idol. Everything else seems like it was unfortunately repossessed from the dead by the Periton. I suspect from the way it looked, it was indigestible, would be my way to describe it. I'll leave it at that.
Yara definitely shows some interest in either dagger, since they are probably far nicer than the daggers he has.
The extravagant push dagger is actually not in this pile, just to make sure you guys know. That, he actually has taken. That's on his back. But the ornately etched dagger is there. That's for you guys. Unfortunately, I have no idea what it is. In fact, actually, I think he would just take out the dagger, the punch dagger that he got, and sort of put it down. This I would like to keep, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about it. Would anyone recognize any of this? Because this doesn't look Latrian to me.
I'll take a look at it.
I'll take a gander.
Merrick, you recognize that this dagger has these very intricate symbols, as if they are specifically designed to ward off those that are dead, yet still remain. And then Hope, you recognize the symbol of the knight, Hatchwell, all over this thing. Like, every ounce of it is a weapon that his followers would wield. It's got his runes carved into it. It's got his name carved into it in like ancient Alabastrian. It's not spoken, or really nobody really knows it anymore. The only reason you know it is because it's like you've seen it written on scrolls. The followers of the god that made this made it to protect mortals from a threat outside of this world.
I'll relay the Ashwell story. I'll be like, hey, this Ashwell fella, he was a protector of the world at one point. Maybe he still is. I'll look up to the sky. Maybe the camera will pan. He's probably still out there protecting us.
It's not also cursed or something, right? It's just maybe of dubious manufacture, but I'll take a Protector God's blade if it need be. As long as he doesn't mind. And he'd look up into the sky too and sort of make a shrugging gesture like, and just put it behind him and lock it into place.
Oh yeah, before we take off, Hope will put his hand over his heart and say, "Thank you for saving my life. I'll make it up to you guys."
Eric just nods.
Part of the job.
Of course. Anytime.
All right. If there is no further conversation, then we will turn to the final 2 rolls of the skill challenge. Hopefully, if you fail, then we can make a total of 3, but you need 2 successes to finish the skill challenge.
I would like to make a survival check to get back to the main road. We're well off the beaten path at this point. I'm going to use a hero point and re-roll that. Merrick takes a gander around the campsite as we're packing up, looking for a trail outwards and something that Bessie could fit through comfortably. And he recalls the direction of the sun and the time of day that they when they initially left the road, when they encountered the Gretchen. And in doing so, he kind of figures out the approximate direction that they were heading in, and perpendicular to that, where they left the roads to encounter the Gretchen and later on the initial Dark Beast. So he finds that direction and he begins pursuing that backwards based on the fact that it's around the same time of day as it was a few days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You've overcome the obstacles that are before you. You very readily get the entire party back on the road. Very good, Merrick. We only need 1 more success, people, and then we make it to the town.
Can Yara use an intimidation check to keep away any animals or any just like non-human humanoid threats that might mess with them?
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking that she uses the rosemary and a few other herbs and ingredients that she's able to gather from the area to make little herb pouches for everyone that is a similar scent to predatory animals. Way anything in the nearby area is going to smell more of that than our human scents. Think that we are a group of predators making our way through the forest and not vulnerable humans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of musky. It's got a little bit of a reptilian scent in it, and everything gives you a wide berth. Absolutely, that is wonderful. Mortal Coil is sponsored by Birdie Maps. Whether you need a top-of-the-line dungeon for a long-form campaign, a coherent series for a one-shot, or something non-specific for a random encounter, Birdie has everything you could possibly need for your fantasy TTRPG. A common problem you run into sourcing maps online is if they're too small, it can be overwhelming to be faced with that much detail. If they're too large, they tend to skew towards being too generic, making it difficult for your players to know what they're looking at. As a long-term dungeon master, Birdie understands that the best maps are large enough to tell a grand tale, yet granular enough to provide for meaningful engagement with your players. Being a DM of 10 years, I'm always looking for any tools that can save me prep time. With Birdie Maps, it's as easy as downloading the file, importing it, and you're ready to run the game. Check them out over at patreon.com/birdiemaps for all your fantasy cartography needs. That's patreon.com/BIRDIEMAPS. Mortal Coil is sponsored by The Shady Sale. From dice cases to minis, hand-painted art to commissions, The Shady Sale has it all. With their new custom color cosplay horns, you can show up to session in style and be the tiefling your table always knew you could be. Need something specific that you can't find anywhere else? Find them on Ko-Fi and ask about custom 3D prints to bring your ideas to the tabletop. We're incredibly proud to announce that you can get your very own custom Necronomulus dice case only at ko-fi.com/theshadysale. This beautiful resin case stores your dice for the drive to the DM's place and absorbs sunlight on the way over, causing it to glow in the dark with the violet fires of undeath. Pick yours up to receive +3 to your spell save DC today. Necronomulus dice case available by manufacturer request only. Sentient spell storing version temporarily unavailable. If you or someone you know purchased one, the whispers in the dark promising power are normal. Talk to your cleric if symptoms persist more than 66 days. Mortal Coil is not responsible for the state of your spell save DCs, attack rolls, saving throws, or class feats. Check with your DM to see if necromancy is right for you. Check out ko-fi.com/theshadysale for any and all TTRPG swag. That's ko-fi.com/theshadysale. Hey folks, just wanted to take a moment to say thanks for watching. All of us at Mortal Coil put hours of work in each week to make this podcast as immersive as possible and build as compelling of a world as we can. If you'd like to support us, you can find us over at patreon.com/DMDM Studios, where you can get access to all of the maps, monsters, and more that we make for this campaign for as low as $3 a month. Peruse our library of art, maps, and tokens for use in your home games, raid our World Anvil archives for whatever IDs you want to use in your setting, and get exclusive behind-the-scenes content like Mortal Forge, our in-depth look at the monsters, mechanics, and math that makes up Mortal Coil. The first 10 patrons to sign up to our $10 a month Lich tier will receive an exclusive Mortal Coil t-shirt available only to them once these slots are filled, so don't miss out. Thanks again to our listeners. We want to extend a very heartfelt thank you to our sponsors. And now, back to the show. After all this journeying, you finally see this small, it would be idyllic community far outside the realms of society. You can see it as you are descending this hill. There's a river on your left side, the very same river that be followed all the way back to the ravine. Can I please have perception checks from everyone? Jasper, you are taking in this abandoned township. There's 4 abandoned cabins, all in various states of disrepair, some of which have the roof broken down on them, others broken windows, what have you. Jasper, you see someone in a window off right in the middle of town. They see you all coming. You don't really get any details. The only thing you really see is movement and hair. And the hair that you see is done up in a pretty prim and proper way. It's white, stark white hair, and they move back from the window very quickly. Merrick, you can see a good deal of cleared foliage around the yawning mine straight on the north end. There should be bushes and all manner of small little trees and stuff up there, but you can see where they've been cut down. And furthermore, you can see the squat little form of a Gretchen clambering up some boxes to get his way on top of the mine, right on top of the cave's mouth. What do you do?
I feel like the second Jasper sees that. Can I recall what hair color the mayor of the village we're doing this for was? Because we're here to save their family, right? That was kind of the idea.
Red.
He would sort of like, as we're entering the village, without pointing it out directly, he would just sort of angle his head a little bit towards the house that he saw it in and just whisper under his breath for us nearby to hear. I just saw someone in that window. White hair, bobbed down very quickly. I think they saw us. And the way they just moved. Now they're afraid of us, they're trying not to be seen. Figured you should know that.
There's Gretchen on the other side of that hill, in that clearing over there.
In that case, maybe the person's hiding from the Gretchen, not us.
It's possible. I could have sworn they looked at us, though.
So this town is not abandoned, is what you were saying to me, Jasper.
Not completely abandoned, it would seem.
It looks abandoned.
Just means no one wants us to know that they're here. I've seen people hide in their houses before. Feels very wrong.
We'll need to deal with the Gretchen one way or another. Whoever we're looking for is going to come out with them around. We should move forward.
I concur. Jasper's not walking with blades drawn, but I figure he is with his hands kind of behind his head, where he sort of like walks like he's casual. But he's doing it because his hands are naturally right by the holsters of his blades, which are over his back. So it's kind of a, oh, I'm being casual, while also ready to draw at a moment's notice as we walk forward. Other than that, I figure he's sort of guiding Bessie by the rope behind his head, sort of holding it there as he's walking, leading her in with everyone else. But I figure slow would be my recommendation.
I'll follow your lead.
Likewise, Yara will just kind of casually hold her bow at her side as if just carrying it.
I'm gonna casually ask the cat the name it prefers as we're walking. What's your name, cat?
Give me animal handling.
Oh crap, I re-roll that.
I would save it. We might need it.
Okay, I don't re-roll. I'm not good with cats, I guess.
Since the cat's on my back and I hear your question, I'll also roll to see if I can tell you the cat's name so you have some closure.
You hear it like back away from you, Hope, and kind of hiss on all 8 of its legs. It like rears up and its fur stands straight back, and it's got a lot of fur. Again, it looks like a Maine Coon, right? And in that hiss, Yara, you can hear something kind of resonating within your mind. It's very obvious that this is no ordinary cat. You're not exactly sure what this is, but you understand that it is at least named itself Felicity.
I believe that it prefers the name Felicity.
Felicity, a fine name.
Just makes uncomfortable, like, meowing noises at you. And then it, like, clambers, literally, like, just phases back down into Yara's backpack. Okay, so we're following Jasper.
I assume the horse is just behind the party.
What are you doing with the horse?
I was saying we should tie her up and leave her here.
I think maybe we should at very least tie it up closer towards the center of town so we can keep an eye on it. I don't want to tie it off at the edge and have someone abscond with Bessie. I figure he's going to try to get towards, like, probably one of these bigger, like, rotten trees over here, and then tie her up. At least so that way, wherever we are in town, we might be able to see her. Come here, girl. It's okay.
Jasper, I'm going to break rights and head around the back of this house.
All right.
Jasper, you notice that Bessie, as you're getting on the edge of this town, starts to snort uncomfortably, like making very, again, uncomfortable horse sounds, the same ones that you heard the night of the Dark Beast attack.
Marek, wait. Something's wrong. He's gonna turn towards Bessie and it's okay, girl, it's okay. And tie her up to the tree. I'm going to use farming lore and assurance on it so that I just roll flat, solid, like 16, and tie her up to the tree. Yeah. And with a pat on the head. He's acting a lot the same way when we encountered the Dark Beast. Something fell is on this town. And it spooked her. And I don't think it's the Gretchen, because she didn't act like this around those little diminutive runts. We should probably stick together. Or at least close.
I have an idea. We're going to go into town and lure them out. Yara can stay back here with Bessie, take pot shots at a distance. The 2 of you can sneak around the side and flank.
What do you all think? He's going to turn to Yara and Hope.
The plan that I can come up with.
The objective is to find these people. Wouldn't it be better just to find the people than to fight everybody and they get away?
I don't know if it's just the Gretchen. Again, there's something wrong here. Bessie doesn't get spooked by those little runts. Something else is here. That's what I'm worried about. But I do agree. I'm not here for bloodshed. We don't get paid whether they're dead or alive. He gestures towards the town. And I'm not particularly interested in needless murder, but we can get in and out quickly without a fight. I would prefer it. Still, I agree with Marek. If there is something foul, if you want to try to lure it out, you can certainly go ahead. We'll do our best to support you. I just don't know whether we'll be able to get to you in time, assuming they even go for you. Just stay within eye shot. Oh, and he turns to everyone. Just, if anything goes sideways, screw stealth. Shout or scream. Make it obvious.
Before I go, I'm going to reach into the pouch and grab a lesser healing potion and just have that on me. I'm going to pull out my greatsword and just wander straight into the middle of town.
I'll take the left side, if that's okay.
Jasper's heading towards here, trying to sneak about, and he will have drawn his blades at this point, or at least, you know, have his hands on them, basically all but drawn. I'm going to attempt a stealth roll, so I'm not observed.
Yara would also try and just kind of blend in with the trees.
So, Hope, by moving around the left-hand side, I'm going to start with you. You can hear something inside of this house directly in front of you, the same one that Jasper pointed out he saw movement in. It sounds like somebody's scraping a table across the ground, and the only reason that you think you can hear it is because this window over here is partially broken. Marek, you bear witness to what you can only imagine is the site of an execution. A person headless with a log directly next to them and the headsman's axe, the tool with which it was claimed. A little bit further in, you are able to see smaller corpses. They are succumbing to this rot, this brown mushroom. The whole thing is brown, all the way down. The stalks are marginally paler, but that's it. These mushrooms also growing in a myriad of different forms. No two of the fungi are the same. Off to the north and to the east, you can see the very same Gretchen that you saw earlier, like getting up and doing this, and you can make out their guttural tongue. He's probably conveying that he sees you to whoever else is up there with him.
Merrick will just shout up the road. Oi!
He's doing this number, and then he just turns to you, grabs his bow and an arrow, and starts shrieking what you can only presume to be the sound of intruder or something like that. Let's go ahead and get into initiative. Hope, start us off, buddy.
All right, disclaimer. This is very bloody. I'm going in. I'm gonna position here. I activate my dragon stance.
Hell yeah.
And you'll see Hope like limber up. You know, he gets his arms and his legs ready. He can kick down walls, I guess. He's breaking down. He's gonna break down barriers. You know, all inclusive here.
Truth. Did I hear you right? You're gonna try to break down the wall.
Yes, I'm kicking this wall down.
These feet are rated E for everyone.
You want damage?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then here's another one for you, dude. This house is falling apart, so I might have kicked the whole thing down. I'm sorry.
You do not actually break the wall. You hit, and your first hit, I'll say you kick it, it splinters a bit, and there's a good like concave where your impact is. But the second one, literally, you did not feel any of the force you put into it do anything to it.
Oh, these walls are stronger than I thought.
The Gretchhound, seeing a lone person up until Hope ran forward, is going to be let loose from its chain. It's going to come straight at you, Merrick. So that's 40 feet. I don't think he's going to be able to get you.
Accidentally perfect positioning.
Yeah.
He's going to have to use his third movement to get right up on you.
I literally the image of like a pit bull doing that really goofy, like high-speed sprint they do. That's really funny when they're being cute and really fucking horrifying when they're running towards you to bite you.
That's basically what's going on, yeah. This Gretchhound just uses 3 stride actions to tear ass straight towards you, Merrick.
Oh, you're coming closer to me.
Yara, it is your turn.
Yara quickly grabs an arrow, notches it in her bow, and takes a shot at the Gretchhound. You see one arrow fly back a little bit further on the bowstring, and this one flies, and both lodge themselves in its side.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Awesome. Yeah, Merrick, you watch as one of them hits the lungs, and then the one right in front of it hits it in the heart, and it just skids to a stop right in front of you. Jasper, it is your turn.
So Jasper is going to see this, go, all right, they're doing their job, time to do mine. And he's going to begin to skitter around the back of the house. He's going to be using 3 move actions. He has a 30-foot movement. We go 1 here, and another 30-foot we get into this one. And finally, the last one, he's going to attempt to move stealthily to this new location. He's trying not to break his stealth, and he's trying to move here, so we're good. And he's just going to crouch behind the bushes, going low the entire time, blades drawn, outflanking to make sure everything's going to be okay.
Beautiful. Jasper and Merrick, you are the only 2 close enough. What are y'all's passive perception scores?
16.
Also 16.
No shit. Wow. Okay. Oh no. Jasper,
Yep.
you take 16 damage as, now I will reveal him, the dire Gretchen very quickly and somehow, at least quietly enough, rushed forward, slammed his shoulder into the tree, and with his crossbow, unloaded a coil. Your armor takes the majority of the blow. There's a little bit of blood that trickles out of the wound, Jasper, but that should have been a kill shot. You're assuming that the only reason why you're still alive right now is because your quick reflexes had you scoot at just the right time.
I'm going to point out that this guy literally rolled just enough to crit me. Fuck that guy.
He also rolled just enough to get you by stealth. Both of y'all have 16 passive perceptions. He rolled 17. All right. So this little Gretchen is going to scoot himself forward. He's going to spend 2 movement actions, 2 strides, up to the rocks so that he has cover and takes out his bow. Merrick, it is your turn.
Cool. I am going to... Guy up on the ledge changes things. I'm going to spend 2 actions to ride... Well, actually, I can come around that side of the rocks, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to perform a sudden charge on this guy.
I'll say you end in the bush because the bush is difficult terrain, but that's range to hit him.
I'll take that on the chin and I'll just make a second attack. I want to save my reroll for the big guy.
How do you kill this Gretchen?
Unused to the weight and form of this greatsword, and my first attack goes over its head, but on the backswing I slice upwards and I don't so much cut it in half as I launch it into the air, blood spiraling out of its body as it flies. It is my turn.
All right. I need to roll a couple of stealths now. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. They're going to be stealthed. Okay. Cool.
Oh, damn.
All right. Seeing that Merrick is very obviously the prime target for this Gretchen, he is going to scoot around over here behind this tree. And with Merrick in his sights, he is going to let loose a black arrow with +2 to that roll. It does not matter, however. Merrick, the arrow comes whizzing by your head. That is going to be... See, he was on watch, so he already had his bow drawn. That means he gets 1 more with a map. He does not get the +2 this time. Oh no, that's a critical miss. His bow string, he pulls back too far in his fear, and there's an audible thwack, twang, as the wood just snaps at the same time that the bowstring does. His bow is broken.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one, also going to attack Merrick. It is exactly what he needed to hit. Minimal damage, literally 1. A single point of damage. This arrow also comes whizzing by you, Merrick. It scrapes your cheek. All right, that was that Gretchen's turn. Now it's this final Gretchen's turn. He is going to rush forward. He's going to draw out his dog slicer, and he's going to charge you, Merrick. He's going to get 2 attacks here. Nope. And damn, that was a good roll, and that's still not a hit. Nope.
The Gretchen just charges towards him, and as it makes its first attack, Merrick literally jumps in the air from his standing position, and when he comes down, he uses the long side of the blade to just bat away the second attack.
You're going to have him in a good spot on your next turn. But first, Hope, we go to you.
Let me walk over to this door. Well, I guess the window's open.
Partially.
I take a gander inside.
You can see a most beautiful woman sitting at a round table. It is dingy and gross within. There's a bunch of mushrooms that are sitting right here in between the window and the room itself. And she does not seem to notice you right now. She's looking down at this book that she's reading from. It's a big book bound in leather.
Oh crap, I have to take a second to think about this. She is aware of the situation in this town.
Probably. There's a battle going on outside. She's not responding to it in any way.
I'll call out to her and say, "Do you realize what's happening right now?"
She looks up from her book rather unsurprised, as if she was expecting somebody to start talking to her any minute now, and she looks back down at the book. Yes. You notice that her skin is very dark, violet, kind of bluish tinted. She's got long ears and these burning violet eyes.
Oh, okay. Sorry to bother. She doesn't look related to the person that we are here for, I'm guessing.
No. Got long white hair.
Okay. Well, let me question her. I still have 1 more action. Do you know where the Corwins are?
She looks up rather lazily again before locking eyes with you for just a moment, Hope, and you feel this icy chill seize up in her stare. I don't know who that is.
Okay. I end my turn there, but this is real, nobody getting anything from this. Jesus.
Yara, it is your turn.
And seeing that, I will move again and ask what he's doing because everyone else is fighting. So she's like, hey, what's got your attention, my friend? I figure Merrick or Jasper will probably annihilate it in their next turn.
I would be real. I just lost half my health in one hit, so just managing expectations here.
I let her know I heard some noises in this cabin. There's a woman here just reading. Crazy.
In the middle of a fight. It's quite strange.
Hope smiles and nods as you do.
Well, it seems as if there's no reasoning with some people. I'll take the penalty and take a shot.
The one that's next to Merrick.
Yara's talking to Hope, looks over, sees the commotion, turns to the side, fires a shot, and then turns back to Hope. So it seems like she can't be reasoned with.
Beautiful. Yeah, we just hear this. And Merrick, you see the force of the arrow pins the goblin to the ground like a harpoon. Very good. Jasper, it is your turn.
Honestly, probably pissed off, but he's used to this already. He's used to like every fight that we've gotten into opening up with an arrow or something sailing out and stabbing him from nowhere. So he's just like, Pinkos, and he just reach up and break off that the back half of the arrow shaft so he can move. And he's going to try this. Is this cliff steep enough where if he gets under there, they might not be able to shoot him? Is there an angle that's that close?
Yeah.
He's gonna bolt for that. He has a movement of 90 with all three actions. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna run right up to the base over here to where that pit is, that hole is, that overhang is. And he's gonna press himself against the wall. And as he does, he's gonna look at the punch blade in his hand and he's gonna hear a distant whistling. We're gonna leave it at that because that's all three of my actions to get to that.
Beautiful. Yeah, we just get this like kind of close up as you're like holding the blade in front of you and the wind around you starts to do this very high pitched noise to it. That is going to the dire Gretchen. The dire Gretchen sees a challenger approaching, but he has not got any semblance of the word honor. He's going to use an action to reload his crossbow. He's going to take aim at you, Merrick, and he is going to shoot at you. You are right out there in the open for him. Ooh. Jeez.
This guy's a crit machine.